Hello, it's Ben Cohen here from the 4D library. Today I'm going to go through the roof accessories and the new 4D roofing roof accessories. So let's start by installing the roof accessories, which is simply done by going in to ArchiCAD, the help menu, online resources and ArchiCAD downloads. From here, you just select your ArchiCAD version, you go to add-ons and then goodies. The accessories are part of goodies. Choose your language and then select from one of the three installers. Then once you've installed the accessories, you then need to restart ArchiCAD. And you'll find that the accessories are in the design menu, design extras, and then accessories. You can see I've mapped the accessories to a shortcut, which is Command 1, that allows me to access the accessories quickly. So let's get started. We'll go to the upper floor and then the roof above it. Select all the roof planes by selecting the roof tool and going Command or Control A. Go to Design, Design Extras, Accessories, Roof Accessories. Select the 4D roofing and then just click OK. You can see the gutters have appeared straight away. The roof planes also need to be set up to show outlines only. If the roof planes are set up to be projected or cut only, the roof accessories will not appear in floor plans, so look out for that. Now when we go to 3D, we have gutters, ridge caps, we've got 3D roof cover, linings, the whole shebang all in one hit. And the beauty of it is they're attached to the geometry of the roof plane. So as the roof plane changes, the accessory will change with it. So as a hip changes maybe to a barge board, the accessory will change to a barge board. But we'll do that in the next video. Let's move around to the back of the house. And I'll select the roof planes here. And I'm going to apply the accessories in 3D. Previously this wasn't recommended because the accessories wouldn't attach to the roof planes, but in this case I'll do it because that bug has been fixed. So I'm going to use Command 1 and click OK, and you can see the accessories have been applied really quickly. And in this case we've got spandrel ends with barge boards, and we've got half a ridge cap down the sides against the wall. So let's look at the new 4D roofing. I'll open up the settings, and here you can see in the first page we have the roof edges. And we can select the roof edges by clicking on these little edit buttons, and from here you can see we have barges, we have hips, we have ridges, and each edge is easily selectable. But then I can change the edge type. So against that wall we have a barge. I can change that to dashing to edge or a flashing apron. So I'll change that to a flashing, and you can see the edge there has been changed to a flashing. Change it to a dashed flashing. We then get a dashed line up the wall and a small flashing. That flashing can be removed simply by editing the defaults and making that 0. And we have a very nice finish there. We could do that all the way along the house quite easily. So through here we'll select the bottom part, the gutter, change that to dashing to edge, click OK, change that against that edge, dashing to edge, click OK, and there we have it. I've removed the flashing part there, so that's why that's quite different. But let's have an in-depth look at all the new settings in the 4D roofing. Along with this page, which allows us to edit each edge and also edit the edge individually. So we have defaults, so we have flashing defaults through here, but each edge can be modified here to be completely different to the other edges going around the roof plane. So we do have a lot of control. On top of that, we can also edit the segment angles. So let's say I want to change the angle on one of the edges. So here I am, I've got the flashing going against the wall. I'm on the upside of that. I'll change that angle to 45. And if I zoom in there, you can see that the angle has been overridden. This can be really handy if you've removed an edge and you want to get your flashing joins to be just perfect. That's annoying me, so I'm just going to change that back to 60. And there we have it. Opening up the settings, we have the edge selection. Then we have presets. We can preset all the edges to work with hip and valleys, gables, against walls, surrounded by walls, or Skillion roofs. And you can see here there's a little tip on what the edges are going to become once you select that preset type. Once we're happy with the preset selection, we just click Apply Presets, and all this will be then set to that roof plane. On top of this, we also have the ability to turn the roof plane into exposed eaves, set it up for tiled or tin, and then we can also set the downpipes to default settings as per what is here. That's a little button, so you press that once you've set up all your downpipes. Moving along, we have the fascia, gutter and soffits, all parametric now, so every one of the gutter profiles can be adjusted. We have type 2 still, and we have segments per gutter edge as per the previous version of the 4D roofing. We have ridge caps, new ridge cap types, including square and tiled, that are all parametric. So if I change that to tiled, we can change the tile length, thickness and width. And that's the same with the barge boards, fully parametric. We can turn those barge boards into pretty much anything we require. Then we've got these new flashings, apron, secret being a flashing that's underneath the roof cover, and adjustable valleys. We've also got capping lines that can be shown or hidden on the ridge caps. So if I hide those capping lines, I'll turn that to tile. Let's hide those capping lines, and you can see there that faint line on the curved, the bottom of the curve has been removed there. I'll turn it back on, and you can see that line, which is important for your representation in elevations. Moving along, we've got a new interface for gables where we have finials and the lining position all set up here. Plus we have lots of different gable treatments that can be applied and stacked on top of each other. So we can have vertical slats and angled slats and arch slats all at once. So it's just a matter of ticking which slats we want. We'll put a beam in, etc, etc. But this is applying to full gables, which I haven't got applied to this roof, and that will be in the next video where I create a gable end. Next page is spandrels. Basically, a spandrel is a barge board that is a length that is below this defined parameter here. At the moment it's set to 1200, so any barge board 1200 or below is treated as a spandrel and won't become a full gable. We've got new roof cover options where we have standard tiles, shingles and curved tiles, and importantly we have a new roof surface capability where we can have up to 4 random materials applied to that roof surface. So we get this sort of effect, which is new and really effective. Moving along, we have our standard downpipe setup as per the old 4D library 4D roofing. Nothing's changed here, but we still have the ability to apply gutters to any one of the fascias, and each gutter is parametric. Gutters can be linked to the stories, so as the story settings change, the gutters don't elevate, they'll stay at 0. We also have our different gutter shapes, the number of straps, etc., etc. We have the standard roof plans where we can use the settings applied here for each one of our components, but we can also use the flashing widths. So if any of the flashings have been edited or have a new default, this will set up accordingly. Roof surfaces, the only new surface here is for the flashings. It's set to general at the moment, so it's going to use the same material or surface as the ridge capping, but you can make that different just by selecting a material here. Next, we have improved handling of building materials for the framing. We'll go through framing in the next video where we create exposed eaves. And next it's just the 2D and 3D representation. Okay, now let's create a gable end at the front of the house here. So I'll go back to floor plan and I'll create a gable end maybe 5 meters across. So I'll just put a guideline through there, select my roof plane and split, delete that bit, then add a node, get my pet palette, Miles over there on the other screen, drag that down. You can see the roof accessories are changing to barge boards as I do that, and I'll just move that up so we've got a bit of barge or verge overhang. Okay, so there we have the setup for the gable, but there's a few things we can do now with the 4D roofing to prevent this sort of thing happening where we've got ridge caps penetrating through the other roof plane. So let's go through that. First thing we need to do is create an extra node at this point here. So we'll do that in plan. Just add a node, put it at the tip, and then just move that in a bit. Add a node, move that point in a bit, and now let's go back to 3D. So it's still visible, but we can remove it. So I'll select the 4D roofing for that roof plane, and in here I'll just remove the edge. There we have it. Great. Next, along the top here, that's still a rolled ridge cap. I can change that here to an apron flashing. And you can see there the apron flashing has a squared end, which penetrates the other roof plane, which is what we don't want. But here we can cut the angle through here, so it's not penetrating through the roof. The last thing I need to do now is turn one side of the roof, either that side or that side, into a full gable. So I've selected that side, I click on the barge board section, change it to a full gable, click OK, and you can see there it's using a vertical lining. So I'll open that up, go to the settings page, change that to say a horizontal lining. I can add a finial. I can add all the different types of treatments for the gable, whether it's beams or curved beams or vertical slats, etc., etc., but I won't. There we have it. It's very neat. Perfect. Okay, let's have a look at the other end of the building through here. Now we could leave it like this, or we could run a gutter and fascia up that end. So let's try that. So select this spandrel part, gutter and fascia. Now it's asking me, there's a setting here, gable gutter top angle. Well, the top angle, I'm angled to another gutter. I'm not angling into a gable end. So we'll angle it up to the gutter. Okay, and let's do the same on this side. Select that spandrel, gutter and fascia. Okay, and now it's just a matter of editing the gutter here, and it's angling down to the gable gutter on both ends. There we have it. Really, really nice ending to the gutter there. Okay, let's change the roof type now to tiled, and then we'll change the eaves to an exposed eave. Okay, so what I'll do now, select all my roof accessories using a find and select. Here I'm using the selection criteria, library part name, 4D roofing. Open up the settings, and in the presets I will preset it to a tiled roof. Gives me a few tips on what's happened with the tiled roof. Now I'll just go to my roof cover. It's set it up as shingle. Let's just do it as flat tiles, and okay that. So you can see there it's matched the color of the ridge capping to the barge flashing, which is good. That can be turned into a tile if you want. Let's have a look at some of the other options. We also have this new option where we can have up to 4 different materials, surface materials applied. To create a nice stipple effect, which is great. Now for the exposed eaves, select them all. Let's go back to our presets page. Presets page, exposed eaves. If I press that button, it tells me here that the rafters must be turned on in model view options. So I'll do that next. But you can see here it's changed the the fascia. It's left the gutter, but it's changed the fascia to a timber fascia, and then it's removed the bottom part of the timber fascia. Okay, let's OK that. We can still see the roof planes through here, so I'll just hide that layer. That will need to be hidden for all the elevation and section layer combinations. I'll hide the layer. Then I'll go into my model view options, bring that over here, go into the roofing, select rafters, click OK, and now I have exposed rafter tails through the entire project. It's that easy. Ooh, got a roof plane missing there. Okay. Think we'll leave it there. Okay, let's look at adding downpipes, creating roof plans, and also setting up model view options for a sketch view and for a working drawings view. First, let's have a look at this elevation. You can see we've got exposed rafter tails along the bottom of the gutters. All very nice, but now we can add some downpipes. Now the downpipes can be added in elevation just by clicking on the end hotspot that you see on the end of each gutter. I'll just undo that. Or we could do the same thing in plan. By doing it in plan, we have the opportunity to edit the depth of the downpipe as well. Going back to the elevation, that downpipe will still be there now that I've added it again, and I can stretch it down to my ground floor. Now the roof accessories are set to show on all stories, so that downpipe is going to show on all stories. I tell my clients if they want more control over the floor plan appearance of the downpipes, it's probably best to use a 2D downpipe stamp, which is in the 4D library, just as the downpipe. Turn off the 3D and just change your floor plan positioning using another object. Going through to the other elevations, we can add downpipes through here. Simply move the hotspot, maybe lift that up. And there's a function here where I can rotate the bottom of the downpipe just by using the second editable hotspot from the top. That's creating a little leg that will feed onto the roof below. Going to the other elevation, I can add a downpipe in here, and so on and so forth around the house. Interestingly, through here we've got a zero lot, or a gutter that's closer to the boundary, so it can't have exposed eaves. I'm just going to add a downpipe. So through here I'm adding the downpipe. Let's just place it here, and you can see there that it's set back quite a way from the wall, because that's flush, that eave. So let's have a look in 3D. So yeah, you can see there that the downpipe is still set to the default 500mm back, but there is a button to make it a bit easier to turn that into a gutter with no setback. So I go into downpipes here, and I can just say no eave to the downpipe. 1, 2, 3. And here you can see that it's created a slight little kick to go around the fascia automatically. So let's go to 3D to have a look at that. Let's show all. And yeah, we have a really nice effect where the downpipe's joining to the bottom of the gutter and it's kicking just over the fascia. Right, let's have a look at our model view option combinations through here. So here we've got our gable end in our working drawings view. Here we've got our gable end in our sketch view. I notice here that the yeah, that's been removed. I must have done that when I was mucking around. Let's just keep that as a hip. So when we go to our working drawings, quite often we don't want that much detail. Although that's looking quite good with the grey pens, we can set up the model view options to show the roof cover in a much more simplified manner. So let's go into the model view options. Through here I'm going to override the roofing type and I'm just going to make it flat. I'm also going to override the ridge capping to none. Then let's click OK and see how that looks. Okay, now we've got some material issues here where the surface of the roofing is shown as it's actually a corrugated surface. So let's just select all the roof planes I should say. Oh no, it's the surface of it's actually the surface of the 4D roofing. So let's go to surfaces. So the flat sheet material has a different surface. You can see it's using ColorBond, which I don't really want. So I'm going to select all my 4D roofing, open up the settings, go into my surfaces, and then just select a surface that hasn't any texture or vectorial hatch. So now when I go to elevation 1, I'm getting a very simplified look of the roof planes. Now you can see here we have another issue where the valley used to be. We've used the model view options to remove all the flashings and simplify the look, and all we're seeing now is a flat roof cover. Well, there's another model view option tick box here that can close the valley gap specifically for this case. So now when I go to my elevation, looks like that hasn't updated. I just need to rebuild. And there we have it. So now when we move from our working drawings elevation to our sketch elevation, we have a completely different look for the roof, which is all made possible by the 4D library, model view options and roof accessories. So now let's look at roof plans. So if I go to my floor plan view, open up the model view options, create a new model view options, let's call this roof plan, go into the roofing section, click on roof plans, and then just click OK, and you can see a roof plan appears. The 4D roofing by default will use these sizes, which are not matching up with any of the custom flashing sizes, but when it's set to custom or actual sizes, it means that any change in a flashing will be reflected in the roof plan. So now I'll go into the roof plan. if I edit the width of this ridge cap, let's make it 30, and you can see there it's reflected on the roof plan. Then also, if I select all my roofing, I can use a custom fill, use the roof tiles, custom fill, and now we have a nice roof plan ready to be part of the documentation. Okay, now let's look at creating a Skillion type roof for this model. Here you can see I've changed the wall types and created just a roof with one plane that's very flat. So I'll open up the settings, go into my presets, and I'll set it up as a Skillion. So Skillions will have aprons when the barge board is less than this value of 1800. So I'll apply that preset. It's probably not going to be perfect all the way along. And I'll reset everything to tin. Click OK. And there you have it. You can see I've got barge boards through here. I've got a gutter through here. Through here it's put in flashings, I think. So let's get in and edit that. So we'll go into that shape. That's my gutter edge. That's my barge, gutter, barge. So in here, let's change that to an apron. Let's change that to an apron flashing. And over at the back there, let's go have a look. So there you can see I've got my aprons. At the back here, it's put an apron. Really, that wants to be a barge. So that's this one. Let's go barge board. Okay. So now we have barge boards all the way around, which looks great. Then going back to the front here, I have a gutter. That could be a barge board, but I'll probably keep that as a gutter. Let's just see how it looks with a barge. Actually, that's pretty neat. So let's leave that as is, and we'll just have one big gutter here. Alright, so that's how we can use presets to create barge boards around the entire roof and create flashings where we need them.